The Mayans MC Season 5 trailer was yesterday, and there was a big return. I'll say link to it, but you know, if you know your stuff about Mayans, the grim beeps have already appeared in the show. I'm doing that because you need to get the 30 seconds before you get the dollar, but get me. Yeah, so in the trailer, we've got the Mayans, right? You've got essentially the Mayans walking through this like complex. You've Easy leading the line, and then you have, what's his name? Bishop. So you've got those two, and then just like the rest of the Mayans in behind. I believe you've got a couple of prospects, and then you've got Hank, Gilly, etc., etc. But the people don't actually matter, right? What matters is when they're walking through this complex, we see a Grim Bastards member standing there. Because as you can see, it is a member wearing a cup. It's orange. We can only associate orange with the Grim Bastards. We've already seen them. If you remember back in Season 2, just before the Reyes brothers, like tortured Happy, they were at the wake of the guy that got killed in episode 2 of season 2, and I believe it was at the start of episode 3, and they walk in and you see a member. It was kind of weird that, but I guess like, you know, they were just all paying their respects, but that's the only time we've seen the Grim Bastards. So it's been a 3-season wait. We didn't get them last season, we didn't get them in season 2, but we did, season 4, sorry, we did get them in season 2, but in terms of season 5, they're here. And now, why would they be here is the question, and I think there's a pretty, I mean, not an easy or simple explanation, but if we use logic, and that's what I'm going to try and do. So in the trailers, they kind of try and keep it condensed to, you know, like certain story arcs and things like that. So I think basically we've got this complex, and I think the meeting ground for Santa Padre and Sam Dino, because obviously we see in the trailer they go face to face with Isaac and Easy looking at each other talking, and I feel like that must be happening on a neutral ground, and that neutral ground could potentially be the Lodi Grim Bastards clubhouse. Now that could be far-fetched, but to me it would make sense, and maybe there was the promise of like nothing would go down, because like we saw on the Gahiwa land, nothing can get done, and then alright, yes, I know the Fatos, Malitos, they laid the smackdown, killed Riz, they shot Riz, they burnt Coco's eye, etc, etc. So it's not like if it's sacred ground, it's not like it's impossible for any beef to get dished out on the table here. But in terms of beef getting dished out, I feel like the only way the Sons and Mayans at this point could meet without killing each other would have to be on one of these like deals where here you meet on a neutral ground, but you know nothing's going to happen to any of your guys, because I doubt they're just going to meet up and fucking shake hands sort of ordeal. Like I know this is getting linked back to the 10 on 10, and some people are like, oh, this looks like the Teller model. No, right, it's not happening. I mean, it would make no sense for it to happen there. Well, I mean, it could happen there, but why would Sam Dino be running it? That's the part that makes no sense. But again, I think it's neutral ground. If this is Sam Dino's territory, because it doesn't look like anything we've seen in the Mayans before, it would make no sense for the Mayans to walk there and be alright. So I think they would probably end up getting killed if it wasn't a neutral ground. So that's my prediction. I think it's going to be a neutral ground they've met at, and it's going to be like the Grim Bastards clubhouse. It's a bold prediction, you know, it's a bit of a crazy prediction, but I see no reason why it couldn't be. Because like I say, how could they possibly meet without blood being shed? Like, we look at the Mayan War, like in episode 1 of season 3, they confront Bishop on the bridge, but at that point the war hasn't started. Like, during wars, you always get meets, or like beginning of wars where like they have a face-to-face, and then that's what like escalates it into causing a war because they can't agree on terms. But if you're already in a war, I mean, if Hitler met face-to-face with Winston Churchill, it would have to be neutral ground. Churchill wouldn't have met him in fucking Nazi Germany, and also Hitler wouldn't have met with him 10 Downing Street. So for that reason alone, this makes sense. But until next time, Fog Entertainment signing out.